Oh, I got it. Peace, YouTube. This is FleurBrun coming to you today from my swing. Join on in. I know it's been a while. It looks all kind of hazy right here, doesn't it? It's hazy, right? In the tree. I don't even know if I'm live. I don't even know what timeline I'm on. Okay, so I'll wait until a couple people check in. When you check in, just put a happy, beautiful like. Hey family. Hey family. My beautiful sea stars and sun stars, check on it. Hey. It's FleurBrun. Hey, my loves. Hope all is well. Okay. I know I haven't been on since last week, right? I was supposed to be on Thursday. I apologize for anyone waiting for Aquarius Rising. Something came up and I just totally had to cancel the show. I called Don. So Don will be coming. My wonderful homeopathic specialist will be coming on this Thursday. So I apologize about that. But family, it's been a groovy ride and I've been contacted by myself in the future. And this will seem absolutely crazy. I have like red. Look at that. That's for my lipstick. So check on in and we'll get into the topic of discussion. Now, this is probably the first time that something to this degree has happened like this, and I'm going to share with you, family, that when you come in the room, please put a like on the video as a common courtesy, just, you know, when you come in. It's been working well. This is probably so this is the first time that I've experienced something like this in this way. So let's get into it. Timelines collapsed. Let me do a quick conference update because this is exciting. So as you know, Aluna had canceled last minute, like a week and a half ago, almost 2 weeks ago. She had to attend to her little one. She said her little one wasn't feeling well. So, you know, as a mama bear, I'm okay with mamas not going anywhere. Babies come first, right? Babies matter. Children matter. So she canceled, and it was hard because, you know, I had to set up. And one thing with FleurBrun, you will realize when I do anything, I do it to the till, and I'm very big on integrity. Like, I like, if I do something and I say I'm going to do it, I always like to do it perfectly how it is, but I can't control factors and others' lives. So that being said, oh, and yes, I want to address something too, because there was a lot of people who contacted me who were upset with Aluna. Now, I don't know, I've been out of the loop a little bit, so I don't know why y'all are upset, because I haven't got word. Apparently, something was said about Aluna not coming because of an accident or something she foresees. Let me just state this, because I don't know where that came from, but she has never, to me, told me anytime, anyway, for the conference that something was going to happen, that she foresaw something in the future. She didn't tell me. And I know that she knows that I'm traveling with my children and our people are traveling. So if that was the case and that was true, she would have told me if she believed that that was going to happen. So let's just put that out there, because a lot of people were upset with her. I don't know. There was a private conversation, a private platform, I think Patreon. So I can't speak on what I don't know, but I do know she canceled only. The only thing she told me is she canceled because of her little one was sick. So that's it. You know, a lot of times, a lot of things go out in the wind, and especially when it's that many people who are upset with someone, and I had to let them know. She never told me that, and I wouldn't not tell you something like that. If something was cataclysmic happening, I'd be the first people to tell everybody. I wouldn't do anything privately. I wouldn't tell anybody in any other way. So that hasn't been disclosed to me, and as far as I know, that wasn't something she ever told me. So anyway, so the conference is, I want to get that out of the way because a lot of people were upset and I didn't know why, and I've been away for the weekend enjoying myself. Yes, so the conference is in New Orleans, in the Bayou. I got lipstick on my teeth already. So it's in the Bayou, in the beautiful Bayou of New Orleans. We're doing a masquerade. My costume is everything. My masquerade dress is everything. So I'm doing a masquerade on the 31st of October on Hallows Eve. And this is a beautiful masquerade in honor of Marie Laveau. Okay, and also I am also having the conference on November 2nd. So because Luna canceled last week, it was kind of last minute, so I didn't really know. I contacted a couple people, because once it's last minute like that, it's very hard for me to kind of get people in, because when I plan something, I plan ahead of time. So, but you know who came to the rescue was Barry Littleton. So big up to everyone joining the conference. I'm flying in Barry Littleton. He is coming to the rescue. Barry Littleton is one of the most amazing contactees. If you don't know him, now you know him, but most people from the platform know him. He's done a couple of the Assetti Ranch. He's going out to Australia to do their conference, and because he felt so, so sorry for FleurBrun, he is coming up to join us. Oh, poor thing. He's going to enjoy himself in the bayou. So Barry Littleton will be joining the crew. My conference. So he's coming in to take the place of Aluna, who wasn't able to come. Again, this was because her little one was sick. So Barry Littleton's coming in for the conference. So big up to everyone joining for the conference. The conference is November 2nd on Saturday, but we, as FleurBrun does, we enjoy it. I know people who are not interested in it, it's like, stop talking about this, get to the topic. Anyway, so I just want to put that out about the conference. Big up to all joining conference. And again, I've extended it because some people said they can probably book it for the 15th. Hey, for the 15th of October. So I will extend the extension only out to the 15th. So if you're going to book it, do it before the 15th, because again, I love things to be organized, and I'm all about the goodies, and I'm, organizing the menu now. So, anyway, so let's get into the topic of discussion, because it's really exciting. And oddly enough, I called Barry Littleton and me were talking before this phenomenon happened. So FleurBrun has been contacted by her future FleurBrun. I'm not joking. This is 1000%. There isn't anything I can make up about this. The future FleurBrun has contacted me now about 2:57 in the morning. Hold on, and I've been off coffee for like 5 days. What is like 5 days? This is just tea, like green decaf tea. So this was Saturday at it's actually Sundays, but for just saying it's nighttime, so 2:57 in the morning on Sunday, all of a sudden I was listening to, many of you know, I was listening to a gentleman who I'm trying to get him on the show. He's phenomenal. He was talking about fungus and cancer. His research is amazing. It's everything. He's everything. So if you're on my Instagram, you already know I went on a rampage with talking about cancer and fungus. So anyway, I was up until like 3 o'clock in the morning. I had been out all weekend, couldn't go to sleep. And all of a sudden my iPad started going ding, 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 like 16 dings. Maybe like 14 dings, okay, 16 dings. And I didn't have my glasses on. Many of you know I wear glasses because I'm really a geek. Big up to all the geeks in the house, because it is what it is. Please put a like on the video when you come in the room as a common courtesy. So I get a ding on my phone. There's like something on my face, okay. I get a ding on my phone, and like 14 or 15 dings, roughly, at 2:57 in the morning. So I didn't know if it was an emergency. Again, this is 3 o'clock in the morning, basically 3 o'clock in the morning on Sunday, and I thought something happened because of the way the succession of dings happened. So I open up my email to find messages. Listen to me, family. Messages from myself. So I thought it was being punked. I'm looking at the messages like, what the heck is this? And I'm looking through all the messages, and I'm looking, mind you, there's some that come later, and this is crazy. So I'm thinking that maybe somebody's punking me, and I think to myself, no one's up in this house. Why am I getting messages from my own email to me? Like if I'm texting myself. So I decide to say to myself, okay, wait, this is a little crazy. Let me see what's going on. Now, family, you know how I love to vet things out? I looked through all the messages. The messages were from me. And they were pictures of reptilians that you don't know. You guys don't see these pictures. I only showed one to you. Reptilian eyes that I take pictures of. There were pictures of my twin flame and which none of you see, these were pictures that I had. Also, there was coding telling me of a futuristic event that was about to happen that I would see next day, which is today. That's why you didn't get a message from me yesterday, because I wanted to vet out that this was true. So after I'm looking at all of the messages back to back to back, I realized that something is contacting me for me, and they were all at the same time. 2:57, I think, was the stamp. Now, mind you, Barry Littleton can verify. I text him right away, because what makes this relative is Barry Littleton and myself were having a conversation earlier that day about the others. Now, if you're newer to my channel, big up to anyone who's newer to the channel, big up to the new subscribers. Thank you for being a party to this, to this world that is quite interesting. Many of you remember that there was a gentleman that I met at the library. Now, if you've been a part of me for a while, I hope you remember that the gentleman who saw me at the library had said they knew me. And he was from the Congo. Remember, he's talking French, and I don't want to go over it again because you can just verify with the video. He said that he saw me flying from a plane ride. He was on a flight from France, first class from France to New York, and then eventually I was going to Cali, to a particular area in California. Now, mind you, I've never seen this man again from that point. He recognized me. He said I was wearing the same jewelry. Again, you can reference that video. He talked about me talking to him, and he said it was me. And I told him, I don't know you. I didn't travel anywhere from France, not recently from France to New York, and nor would I travel there. But why I'm discussing this with you is because when I talked to Barry earlier, we were discussing the others. This is why you maybe will reference the movie The Others. The others that they have of us that are us, that are actually existing and partaking in the world, as if you consider that to be a clone, if you consider that to be a replication. I've talked about that on, I don't like to say it too much on YouTube, but many of you know what I talk about, a replication. Okay, so mind you, I'm looking at my messages to myself, and literally they're telling me futuristic things to verify that it is a future me. Now, how do I know it's me? Because you're going to say, how do you know that's you, FleurBrun? That's the first thing Barry said. How do you know? Could it just be somebody who hacked into your system? The verbiage, the language, the codes, it was me, family. There isn't anyone that speaks like me, who talks like me, who uses certain acronyms like me. It was me. So I left a message to myself. Now, I didn't want to contact you and make this until I verified that what I told myself would happen. So it gave me a couple of things, but today I could verify one of the things to show you that it actually was a message from me, a futuristic me, an alternate timeline me, an other me. So apparently something was to happen today. Now, I can't talk about it because it's not personal, but it's something that involves someone else. So I can't really speak about it. Sometimes I don't like to share other people's journeys. But I was left a message and a picture. There were several pictures and several people were contacted from me. So if you, there are also 3 people on here. Jay-Z was one of them that was contacted. So let me say this. There was 3 people that were contacted from my email as me to them and sent to me. So, and CC to me. It sounds crazy. I know it sounds crazy, fam. This is the first time that when I share this with people, they literally looked at me like I was cuckoo. This is probably because I talk about seeing reptilian eyes, different kind of beings, and people have kind of gained a respect and they respect and they know that I'm telling the truth. I don't really have to go through the rigmarole of like I'm saying I don't drink. People know me. But this is the first time that literally I thought it was crazy, and when I shared it, people looked at me a little way. Like they looked at me a little sideways, like, are you serious? So there was a message that was sent to 3 people, including Jay-Z. A message that was referring to messages that I didn't even realize I got in emails. Now, mind you, the messages that they sent were non-responded, like these are emails that I have tons of emails, family, and many of you know I can't get to everyone. Sometimes if I get back to you, that's a big deal because I get so many emails. I try to get back to people as quickly and as efficiently as possible, but a lot of times it's nearly impossible. So apparently these are 3 emails that were responded to by me, the other, let's say the other FleurBrun. They were responded, and then they were CC'd to me, the me here. Now, mind you, family, I was up at that time without my glasses in bed, just listening to a video regarding fungus and cancer, doing my own form of research from a really amazing researcher that I really found out about this holistic practitioner this peak weekend. So I was going on like a binge. I will do this, especially regarding heredity and genetics and health. So I was on a binge. So it's not like I could text myself or message myself from me lying in bed. These messages were in succession. They came all at once, and it's gonna bug you out when I tell you more. So I don't want to go too far because it's exciting, but family, we're in those times. If you didn't think we were in those times, we are in those times. So I'm gonna tell you more, but I'll tell you this: 3 people were contacted there. So if the 3 people who were contacted, you'll know because I responded to you. It wasn't conference information, it was old emails that were responded to that I didn't even know I had. Okay, so those 3 people know who they are, who are on here. Big up to those who got responded by the other me that wasn't me. And again, they used my signature. Now, the difference in the signature that you knew it wasn't me is I always respond when I write from people is infinite bliss. FleurBrun. That is my response to 90% of all emails. So if you don't get an infinite bliss FleurBrun at the end of a response, that wasn't me. This difference in this response was it was just signed FleurBrun. It was written as I would write it, the same language, same way, same everything, even the same respect and same honor, same way. But the only difference is there wasn't an infinite bliss, it was just FleurBrun. And the way that I spell FleurBrun is very, very specific in how I code my name, okay? Because the F is capitalized and the B is capitalized, okay? Like FB, all right? So, anyway, so I didn't want to make this video until I verify because, you know, I'm not one of those people will just, sometimes I get a little excited and I'll post something too quickly. This time I wanted to verify it. And just as a reminder for those who didn't know, Pluto went direct. So this has a lot to do with, remember the veil is down. I think Osset made a video. Remember my video was, and for those who are disappointed about the video I made last week, that was blocked. I think by SMS or something like that, was blocked in every country. It was because they played Jimi Hendrix. It wasn't anything diabolical. They didn't have to block it. Normally they don't block it when I play music, but if I play a song by a specific artist that's really popular, especially something that has a lot of royalty, they'll block it. Okay, so it was blocked, but I felt like whoever was meant to see it was meant to see it. That message was, I was excited too. So I gave a lot of coded things in that live. Many of you who joined me for that live, remember, I was excited and I was on heightened awareness. So whatever you got from that was just authentic, frequency elevating video. So big up to all that. Yeah, they blocked it. They blocked the BC, the music isn't paid for. Yeah, they blocked it. So I apologize for that happening. And to take it off would cause more stress and time, and that isn't something that I want to sit and do, not for a video that I've already felt like I've given my energy to. Okay, so okay, so the coded messages, there were several, and there were pictures of ETIs that none of you have seen. There's one that you've seen, but not all of them. And then my twin flame, there were 2 separate pictures sent of my twin flame and references to my twin. Big up to all the twin flames in the house. Okay, so I had to wait until today to verify. So one event was disclosed in this, ow, I got bit on my toe. One event was disclosed today that already occurred, and there's another one that probably will happen later. So that's why I'm making this message to you, to make sure that it wasn't, like I said, oh, hey squirrelies, my little squirrelies, see the squirrelies? Hey squirrelies. Okay, so hold on, let me sit on my swing, my happy, remember my swing? You guys used to always see me on this swing, right? I love this swing. Let me sit all comfortable. Okay, let me get back into my mind because it's so much. Okay, so the first event has already happened. That's how I know it's true. I vet out everything. What they detailed was coded, but it wasn't. So they gave me an event that would happen, asking a question and answering it. So what they did is they asked questions and then they answered the questions by telling me an event that would happen. One of the events has already happened. That when it happened, because I waited for today just to verify that this is real. If you're coming in the room, please put a like on the video as a common courtesy. YouTube likes my likes, and they actually treat me a little better when I get more likes on my videos. So just as a common courtesy, if you come in the room. No, I can't speak Turkish. You're like the third person who asked me that. How come people are asking me if I speak Turkish today? That's interesting. Are you... Now everything is, I'm looking at everything sidebar at this, you know, everything side eye at this point, because that's the third person who asked me if I speak Turkish. I don't even look like I'm from Turkey. It's interesting that you asked that. Is it because I'm wearing the Hamza hand, the hand of Fatima? Could be that. Okay, so the first event that the future self gave me already came to fruition, meaning that this isn't something that I could have done. It isn't something I could have sent myself. It was literally sent independently. It asked questions and it answered its own questions. Pictures were sent from me to me, and also a specific occult. One of the highest paid occult jewelers contacted me this morning. Yeah, this morning. Saying that I sent money to them and they want to know what I wanted because it's not in there. So today they were asking me, it's one of the high, and I can't say it online because I won't say that online, but many of you know who it is, especially if you're from certain backgrounds. It was one of the highest, most pristine occult jewelers that is known on the East and West Coast. Okay, they contacted me and said that I ordered something. Now the stuff that they sell is like literally off the chain. I mean, it's things that you can't get, and these are ritualistic type of, you know, planetary jeweler that imprints has sigils and planetary alignments on their jewelry. It's amazing. They're one of the best. Okay, but I don't order for them because they're so astronomically expensive. My ex has gotten stuff from me many years ago, but not this particular one. That this is a different jeweler, but this one is one of the most amazing. So the event has happened that they detailed in the future myself told me today, and there's another 2 things that are supposed to happen along with that. So I wanted to say, family, that the future FleurBrun has contacted me. It is literally she has literally left clues and full-on truths that are beyond my comprehension. It didn't bug me out. It was a little brazen because me and Barry Littleton were having a full-on discussion about our others before this happened. So just imagine, before this happened, me and Barry were having a full-on discussion about the others, and then my other contacts me. And it was brazen because not only did they contact me, they contacted others and left blank emails. They coded the email, which I've never seen happen. So they coded the email so I could see something on the outside, but when you open it, there isn't anything on the inside, meaning there's no content, there's nothing in the email, but they put a word. So if you read the emails all together, there's a message going from bottom to top. Okay? So why at this particular time am I being contacted by the future FleurBrun? It is because the veil isn't there. I think many of you heard Osset's video when she was talking about her laptop and her phone going outside and teleporting outside without her knowledge, without a window open. The veil isn't there. For some reason, the veil has dropped and the unforeseen side is actually open. And this is where that movie, The Others, might take in place. Now, the other FleurBrun isn't diabolical to my knowledge or or malevolent. Just the coding in her words, the softness and the energy with the messages were very, very beautiful. And also was to tell me and to show me and to confirm with me, family, that this is a real deal Holyfield. That this is actually, the others are, and I don't know if this is for everyone. So I don't want to put this as this is happening to everyone, because I won't know until others tell me that this exact experience has happened to them. This is the first time this has happened to this degree. I've been contacted by future beings, I've told you, and also one of the agents that was sent years ago, which many of you heard me talk about. He was a governmental agent that I know they sent from the past. He was originally from 1969. I think I discussed this on previous videos. I've made so many videos on everything. It's amazing. In 1969, they sent him to me, and they sent him to me with every bit of detail about me. The type of deodorant I used, which no one knew at the time because it wasn't something that anyone online knew. The type of information that I researched, everything down to the very taste buds, the things that I was eating, the way that I ate. They basically gave him a breakdown of FleurBrun, and when he came to me, it made him more appeasing. That's why you have to be careful with these agents. They procure them, they create these agents, they give them every bit of information about you, so that when it is time for them to implant them into your social dynamics, it's very easy for you to pull them in, because they literally have so much of your similarities that it almost feels like it's meant to be. It almost feels like it's natural, and it isn't. They sent him to me how many years ago? That family. Oh, my water fountains are coming out. I love these water fountains over here. I came here. They only put them on. What time is it? It's probably 10 o'clock. They put on my water fountains. I love this. It's not my water fountains, but they put on the water fountains over here. They sent him to me, and I don't want to say his name, but I got verified with that this morning. That was one of the clues. He contacted me through another site. At the same time, I just got contacted by an alternative FleurBrun. So this was the one that came to me years ago. And again, if you go back to, you've got to go back to videos. It's hard for me because I've documented all this on YouTube, which I'm so grateful for. So a lot of you know can verify that that I have some sanity in a very insane matrix. Okay, so he was from 1969, and when he came, remember I told you I was getting emails from 1969. I was getting empty emails from, my email was coming with like 20, 30 emails at a time when he came, and they were all from 1969. Every number was from 1969, and then there were a few from 2001. Do you guys remember that? There was a massive amounts of email sent from 1969 when he came. And then when he took a picture and showed me a picture of him boxing, his picture said 1969. That's how I knew that they, almost like Terminator, they sent him. I'm serious, family. I know it sounds cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. I am not high on coffee today, so you can't say FleurBrun is high on coffee at Starbucks. I haven't drank it for 5 days. So I have more clarity than normal. I'm a non-alcoholic, and I stay away from all drugs. There isn't any drugs in my system, okay? I just say that to you always. I just verify, just to let you know that I have all my rational mind. I'm not a channeler. I don't let demons or entities tell me what is happening in the future and this timeline. Yeah. These are all the ways that you could be incepted. FleurBrun is really, as you notice, I'm with myself every day, or my children. I make sure my circle is clean, because it's only me, myself, and I, and apparently there's me, myself, and I. So, no, he didn't, Kay, he didn't know, he contacted me via online, and this is the one that I did a series of vegan, documentaries on back in the days. We did different places here. I had an amazing time, and they knew his vibration would match mine. He knew that there was a level of attraction, but there were some unsavory things that you just felt. Like, he was the one who brought up the insectilians, and he was from the military. So that's when I knew after that. And then they sent me another military guy who worked for the Cube. When I was trying, you know, this is the time when I was just starting to want to date. And remember, they sent one military guy from the past, almost like Terminator. They sent him from the past. He came here. and basically studied me, came here, and I ended up blocking him because I realized who and what he was. He was an agent sent to kind of sidebar me. I don't know what his intent was, inevitably. And then the other one was working for a governmental company called The Cube. I didn't even let him pass the door. And they sent handsome ones. You know, I do like a very sexy, you know, amazing. And they also knew I had an obsession with blood types. So they made sure that they told them, because I don't trust anyone who tells me their blood type. I verify your blood type. If I want to mate, I don't have many mates. I was married for many, many years. So, but if you're going to mate with me, I will verify your blood type, because you already know mine. And I don't want a man telling me his blood type just to lie to me, just to try to get, you know, within my frequency. I know your blood type usually from your pheromones, but if I don't, I will verify your blood type myself. I don't play games with that. I only mate with my own. I do. So why I say it's important about this gentleman who was from the future, who was from the past, came to me around 7 years ago. 7 years ago, before the last 2012. So the last 2012, roughly around that time, this being came to me. Or I think it was roughly 2012, maybe a little later. Now, he's contacted me again through another site, after I get all of these messages from myself. And it makes me think, is the future of FleurBrun working with certain governmental agents? You know, you have to always question the motivation of the others. Because, you know, the FleurBrun that you know in front of you is a nature lover, a proponent, a protector of children and families. You know, I am a really big steward in the community. Just I'm that type of being. So I can't say what the other FleurBrun is like. I just know that they sent me a message, and it was some coded and some real. And when they're sending me pictures of my my twin flame's eyes, telling me what the eyes are, telling me the bloodline of my twin flame, it was crazy. And these are things that none of you know, because I don't share his personal information or his journey, because that's his business. If I decide to put myself online, that's my journey, and I don't want to violate that way. You know, with Kirk, you know, Kirk kind of, I didn't even put Kirk out there that much, but I kind of put him out a little bit more. I learned my lesson with that. Okay, so one of the future events that the other FleurBrun just came to fruition. The other two haven't happened yet. The veil is non-existent. Saturn has returned. Pluto has gone direct. It is, I think, with the technology, with the pole shift, with the shifting of the magnetic field, and the magnetic field basically diminishing, I think it's just allowing for the veil. The magnetic field is what gives us the tangibility, or the realness of our environment. Remember, that's how they are able to create the hologram. It's the magnetic field that allows us to see what we see with clarity and crispness, right? I think I discussed that on the last video. But the fact that the magnetic field is wavering, and remember, it's shifting and it's about to collapse, that wonderful crispness, that way that the hologram used to show up isn't quite as clear. And because of that, I personally think it is affecting the veil being non-existent. I think the veil is gone. Usually the veil is totally very thin around October 31st, which is why they do a lot of rituals. If you're in the room, please put a like on the video. I always stop to say that. Please put a like on the video as a common courtesy. Like, what did they say? Some people have these things, like, share. No, don't share. I don't like when you share my videos. I feel like if you're here, you're meant to be here. I won't tell you to ever share my videos. I appreciate that our frequency remains the same, and I think when you share it to people that aren't ready or aren't in our frequency, I think it messes with their peace of mind, and it also brings other types of elements into our space. So I don't ever tell you to share, so don't share the video. I don't require it, and I don't ask of it, but I do ask for you to like the video. Especially 517 people in the room, please like the video. So the veil is very thin, and it's allowing for other beings to contact us. Now, remember, I told you my father and my uncle were with me as clear as day, and my father passed. Many of you know my daddy passed around roughly 2 years ago, and my uncle wanted to go, and he left a year after my father, almost to the day after my father, and they were brothers. And they were together, and my dad was braiding my hair. I told you this on, I think, Wednesday. My dad was braiding my hair. He was clear. He was there clear as day. And my uncle said he doesn't want to go to New York without my dad. That was the last I saw them. But they were there. They're both passed. They were crisp and clear. I didn't channel them. I don't do drugs. I'm not sitting here chiefing. No, big up to all the chiefers in the house. I wasn't chiefing. You know, what I see is truly what I see. I don't have to meditate about it. I don't have to chief about it. I don't have to do mushrooms. I see what I see. That's why that's why I can verify everything, because I'm not utilizing any form of trickery or trying to cheat or cheat sheet to get to what I see. What I see is what I see. So my dad and my uncle were there, clear as day, and they passed. So that's when I knew the veil wasn't there. But now I'm being contacted by a futuristic FleurBrun, who is now a futuristic FleurBrun that is basically giving me intel. It isn't negative. Let me state this again. It isn't negative, and a FleurBrun wouldn't give anything negative to me. One thing I've learned, and this is why I think it's amazing that the other FleurBrun has the same frequency. The other versions of yourself, even in the collapsing of the timeline, are all you. They're the best and the bad of you, you know? So it would always be the core of who and what you are will always stay in that alignment, okay? So the FleurBrun that was sharing intel gave me things that were appropriate for me without fear. They aren't negative things, but it was to show me that this actually exists, that she is here, and to also confirm. And if I had doubt on specific things, she basically cleared that up. There were certain things that I doubt based on I can't vet them out. There are certain things in metaphysics that is very difficult unless you are engaged in uniformed rituals, or even engage with beings that have that with a heightened amount of intel. Now, I have intel from the things I vet out, but certain things I want to know sometimes that are beyond what I can even achieve as far as getting that information and verifying it. She assisted verifying a lot. She did. So what I have to say to you, family, is hopefully you have your seatbelts on. If you don't have your seatbelts on, it's about to get real. For this to happen in this way in such a short period of time, and it's a form of quickening occurring, this means it's only going to get stronger, more exaggerated, and to the point where there may be people who won't be able to survive this type of awareness. This heightened awareness would make someone feel like they're going crazy. And I've already had about 6 different people that I know in my family and outside of my family that are experiencing physical symptoms of this heightened awareness that is causing them anxiety. It is causing them a heightened amount of anxiety. So I got a lizard. My lizard friend is looking at me right now. So they were just saying that I just came from his house. He was at the hospital yesterday. There was another person at the hospital on Thursday. They went to the hospital for high blood pressure, heart palpitations. He went to the hospital. He felt like he was dying at his job. They took him in the emergency room. I spoke to him last night. I went to see him this morning before I came to talk to y'all, and that was one of the reveals had to do with that. So be very, very careful, and you went to the ER, high blood pressure 2 weeks ago. Yeah, there's because it's a combination platter, family, and that's why I say it's very important for you to take care of your health right now. It's the reason I stopped drinking coffee. Once I saw my uncle, many of you don't know, listen, I have a lot of self-control. Once I saw my uncle and my dad show up and I knew the veil was gone, I just stopped drinking coffee because I knew it was going to be on and popping. I didn't need some other stimulant to make it even more heightened, okay? That's what I did. So as soon as I saw my dad and my uncle, I stopped drinking coffee. You can verify that because you can go to all the Starbucks and they're looking for me right now. They probably have a wanted sign with my face. Like, where's FleurBrun? Where is she? She always comes. Yeah. I stopped because it's to the point where so much is being revealed. Now, another thing that's happening is people are being revealed. People are being revealed. Everybody that you thought was one way is now revealing themselves as another way. So, yes, magnesium helps with high blood pressure and also melatonin. So I had to tell, and I'm not a doctor, let me state this, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a physician, I'm not certified to give you medical advice online or offline or inline or up on the galaxy or anywhere. But I will give you advice based on what I know. And my advice is, you know, if you ever have that stint where you feel a little nervous, because remember the thickening of the blood also causes the arteries to get clogged. So just make sure you have, you know, magnesium will calm you down a little bit, but also melatonin and also baby aspirin helps to thin out the blood a little bit. We have a lot of nurses on here, okay? So we have a lot of nurses on here, okay? So ashwagandha is amazing for taking down the anxiety, absolutely. So just be mindful, family, because it's on and popping right now, and it's very necessary for everyone, including myself, to stay very grounded. And like I said, there's reveals of people in your lives. Everything that was hidden is coming out. You know, even with last week, with people telling me things and coming to me and waves sharing the truth about others and myself. Let me not leave myself exempt. About myself, seeing aspects of myself that I didn't know I was struggling with. Like certain things that I thought that I didn't have an issue with, I do. And I had to see, oh snap, that's a reveal to myself. I got to deal with this. You know what I'm saying? I had to look at something, what was it, yesterday? I was like, oh, okay. That's what's going on with me, all right? So I got to see it face on, because I know right now, if I sweep it underneath the rug, that bad boy is going to come out. You ever see Bad Boy when he's tinging the glass? Bad boys come out and play. If I try to hide my shadows or try to sweep them under the rug, you best believe Papa Saturn is going to take that rug and just flip it over with Pluto's approval. Yeah, so even yesterday I dealt with it, but then everybody was coming about everybody else. So I say, listen, the shadows are coming out. Don't try to hide yourself. If you are, you know, if you are a certain way, just let it be known as, you know, respectfully. You don't have to blow all your personal business out, but it's better that you acknowledge who and what you are rather than having. I think I'm back. Okay, hopefully. I'm sorry. Whenever I'm out in nature, that'll happen. This is probably the longest you see me out in nature and not getting glitches. That's a fairy. That fairy dust. But yeah, one thing I have to say is that we all have to be mindful. Like even my shadows, like I said, it came up yesterday, probably today too, because it was like in my pit of your stomach. You know when you have something that's going on with you and you can feel it in your stomach because that's your root, and the root, you can feel it in your root. It was coming out like like the Exorcist. It was coming out, and I was like, okay, that's something I have to deal with. Didn't know it was there, didn't even acknowledge it, and I'm not gonna sweep it under the rug because I'm gonna have to deal with it. But even, you know, just like I would blow spots on other people, I have to blow spots on myself. You know, as I become more seasoned in life, it makes it a little easier to accept the idiosyncrasies in my life, or the shadows or the insecurities. It's easier because when I was younger, I think I was more concerned that it had a stigma. So I wouldn't sometimes deal with things that were stigma based. You know what I mean? So if something had a stigma, I would deny it, and not so much deny it, but try to cloak it. And now at my certain age, now I'm just like, whatever. You know what I mean? Whatever. Is it buffering? Put a 13 if you can see me. Oh, is it buffering? Okay. Hold on. I think I'm gonna go. You can see me? Okay. I'm just making sure. Okay. because I can always go. I don't want to go inside the car because I want to go get some. I want to go get some groceries too. All right. So, so that was what was going on, and the future FleurBrun also told me this is the cool part, because like I said, with the conference, it was bothering me that, you know, it did bother me that there was a cancellation last minute. It has nothing to do with the Luna. Just I don't like I don't like things not going in alignment. Like if I plan something, I'm really fanatical about plan. I'm a woman of my integrity. So if I say I'm going to do something, I do it. So I don't like when this is personal. This is one of my shadows. I don't like, that's why I don't do things with other people. That's why I don't work in organizing with others, because I like to do things specifically and I like them to go unwavered and as I planned. It's just a Sagittarius trait. So that's why I generally tend to do things on my own independently. But when when something is out of my control, it bothers me. So it did bother me that I had a cancellation and I have all these amazing people coming to a conference and someone cancels last minute. It wasn't her fault because she has to attend to her daughter. So, you know, even in my response, I was like, it's fine. Because at the end of the day, family trumps all. That's how I feel. There isn't anything that I will prioritize over myself or my family. So I understood that, but it just made me feel, unsettled. So, you know, I had been making phone calls behind the things. Big ups to Sonia Barrett. Sonia Barrett was going to come. She had another event. She was going to come because she had such a good time last year. Sonia was going to come join me again. There was another 2 sea stars that are really amazing that were going to fly up from Hawaii to come, but they had another event. It was too close because it was last minute. But of course, Barry Littleton came to the rescue, and Barry got him a flight so he could come out. So I'm excited about that. So that made me settle down a little bit. Yeah, I love Sonia Barrett. She was amazing. We had such a good time, and I didn't have her stay that long last year because I just figured, I didn't know if she wanted to hang out with us more. But this year I told her I wish she could have hung out with us, and she was excited. She would have came. So yeah, Barry has a host of intel, and he's one of the #1 contactees, and Ada's a contactee. And also, one of the things I love about Ada coming is that she's going to talk about she was the last person who came in contact with Dr. Delbert Blair before he passed. Amazing. She's also the contactee that denoted having contact with the carbon beings with obsidian grills in their teeth. You know how ice grills, you know how the homies like to wear like grilled teeth? There was actually celestials that had brown extraterrestrials that had ice grills that were obsidian or like black crystals in their mouth. Isn't that awesome? So, is it buffering? Is anyone buffering? So big up to all those who are joining for the conference. And let me say this to all those who've come to me about the situation happening, what they heard or whatever happened. I appreciate you coming to me because I always like to verify everything, especially when it came to like all of us online. We generally talk to each other. So I know a lot of people were upset about something that was said with Aluna, and again, she never talked to me about anything like that. So I love to verify things like that because a lot of times things get lost in the sauce, and she can verify that as well. Yeah, she never told me anything about any cataclysm happening or anything like that. She would have told me because she knows I'm traveling with my children and others that are traveling. So, you know, that just lets you know that, you know, we have to verify things before we take them on a roll. And also, many of you know from my conferences that they do implant negative thought forms. They did it last year, and that is, I want that. Why? Is because it filters out those who are not in alignment to come to my conference. Remember, I have a beautiful shield around me and my children, and they come to the conference. So I have a filtering system which comes to people. So what happens is that when people get negative thought forms or things that delay them or disallow for them to come to be around me, it is a detail that's my filtering system working. So I'm okay. That's why you won't ever hear me say to anyone who can't come somewhere or can't attend something, I won't ever say to them something negative or even be disappointed, because I know that that's my filtering system. Only those who are within my frequency, who are in the same integrity, not that anyone's perfect, but I'm saying I have a certain frequency and vibration that only certain people can be in that proximity, especially with my children. So I put a, and it's not intentionally, I just have a filtering system, and it usually shows up as negative thought forms. So those who are very limited or not as high in frequency are usually infiltrated easily by negative thought forms to disallow for them to come within my proximity. So they'll hear something in their minds telling them something's going to happen. The young lady last year said the military was going to come to my conference, and she said she was going to die. She saw them coming over and bombarding. It didn't happen, but she was out of alignment with my conference. And actually I'm grateful because some of the most beautiful beings came last year. I didn't even expect for it to go so. It was so personable and so beautiful. Like I said, I think these wonderful beings are my cosmic family. I think we're literally on a same mothership. So I take the same for this. This is a beautiful event, and I think those who are in alignment with me and in a frequency for this particular conference, for this, whatever we share, because remember, it's all relative. It's the same reason why certain videos of mine get shut down and some don't. If you're meant to hear it and be in that frequency, you can. But also, you can always go to my Patreon. I'm allowing it this year because so many people requested for it. So I will allow for the conference to be viewed. You guys can see me now. I think it just got too darn hot out there. Hot in heaven. Hot as heaven. So hopefully you can see me. Can you see me? I've got like smudges on my lips. Okay. Put a 13 if you can start to see me again, because then I could just stop the live. Put a 13. Is it frozen? 13 if you could see me again. Okay. There we go. Okay. I'm sorry about that. Okay. So I'm here. I apologize. Yeah, sometimes it'll happen, especially if I'm out. That was the longest I've been out, and like nature as far as elements that, you know, other than in Brazil. Brazil, they don't have as much interference because maybe there's not any towers around, right? So I think that was it. So I just was verifying about the conference. The conference is on and popping. It's exciting. And also, I want to answer some questions too, because a lot of people are asking me about this situation with the young lady who murdered the brown man in his house. What's her name? Geiger? What's her name? Geiger? The woman that got 10 years? What's her name? Something. There was a question that some of you were asking me, and I prefer to answer it on here. Geiger? I don't know what her name is. What's her name? Geiger? Something Geiger. I think that's her name, right? Am I saying it right? Okay, Amanda Geiger. Okay, Amanda. Okay, let me state this because if you have eyes to see, like Delbert Blair used to say, eyes to see, that is a ritual family. It was a whole ritual. That was a whole ritualist. Everything about that is Mason. That smell. If it smells like a Mason, it tastes like a Mason. It's a Masonic ritual. That whole thing. And a lot of people. Let me explain this. Most people think that Masons are only lunar people, white people. That is not true. On the high end of Masons, there's a whole bunch of brown people. Okay, so I'm just letting you know. That was a ritual. There isn't anything that the murder of even the neighbor, which was the friend of the person who died, that was actually a ritual as well. That's all ritualistic, even in the way that they did it. There isn't any naturalness, and even if you don't know about the occult, you know, occult rituals, or you don't know so much about the dark orders or of the brotherhoods, there are so many. Listen, if you don't believe me, watch the movie Rosemary's Baby. Because sometimes you think I'm a little paranoid. Okay, so you'll say, FleurBrun, you're a little paranoid. Watch Rosemary's Baby. Okay, you will understand what I'm saying. They're all witches, and I don't say they're all witches. They're all warlocks. Half of what you see on television is a lie. The other half is smoke and mirrors. Okay, whenever you see hugs like that, that is giving a go ahead and saying, okay, we did what we were supposed to do. That hug that judge gave and that brother gave, and this is my own opinion. I know people will totally not agree with this, but let me just state this. Whenever the brothers, most people think that people in your family got your back. In a lot of these cult and satanic families, the family is who set them up. You know that, right? Most rituals, most of the children that are murdered in rituals are murdered by their own parents, or sexualized by their own family members, or set up by their own family members. So I'm just saying, People are like, how could the brother hug them? That wasn't as what you thought it was. We have to take complexion out of it because you're saying she's a lunar white woman with blonde hair. No, when it comes to the occult, they see beyond color. See, this is why I'm trying to get y'all out of the MK Ultra and out of Stockholm syndrome. The Stockholm syndrome you're suffering from is limits you because you still have these concepts that people are prejudiced, there's racism. No, there is speciesism, and there are orders. There are orders. There are people who are existing in different orders. That lunar woman is down with those brown people, the judge and the brother. This is my opinion, okay? And the one person who was out of the order was the homeboy who testified against the lunar, who inevitably they had to give her time. She'll be out and she'll be relocated. Okay? They're all part of the same order. Whenever you see people, listen, one thing I notice is if things like that happen, it's just like what is it? Like whose car is smoking? What is it? The mafia. The mafia will, you ever see the old mafias movies? Right before the kingpin, not the kingpin, right before the Godfather is about to murder somebody, what does he do? He takes him out to dinner and pats him on his back. Before he murders him and cuts his head off, decapitates him and puts him in the trunk, and then goes out with his family in dinner and at the funeral and pays for the whole funeral and plays with his children at the funeral. Please be wiser. Color does not matter in the way that you think. If you keep limiting your cognitive dissonance, or your cognitive dissonance takes over from you realizing that this whole world is not what it appears, you will be better suited for where we're going. That is literally a ritual. Those people are part of the same order. And like I have to tell some of our brown people who see, oh, this is another brother getting killed. First of all, what makes you think that was an accidental murder? That was a calculated assassination, a ritualistic assassination. That is my opinion. I stay out of their business because when the Satanists and Luciferians do their darkness and the orders get down, I stay out of that. That's another world. That's a world that they make agreements on all kinds of order. They have orders and they have agreements with all kinds of demons and incarnates and entities on the other sides. That's what they do. So be mindful not to personalize it or to visually see yourself as a victim, because they utilize that as a way to pull you into victimhood, to make you identify with that man who shot, so that makes you more susceptible for that kind of infiltration. The whole thing was literally, I didn't even have to be that smart to see that was a setup. Nobody walks into someone else's apartment and assassinates them and thinks it's their own apartment, unless she's on drugs and alcohol and she had a clean bill of health. And also you got to take in consideration, this is right across from a precinct, and most of the people in precincts and these orders are part of the law enforcement. Who do you think? They don't want to get the regular man who's on the street. They want to have people who can have pull, right? They want to have judges. They want to have police officers so that they can get away with what they do. They need cover-ups. They don't want to mess with the average Joe. They're not going to have them part of the order. If they're part of the order, they're going to cultivate them. They're going to pay for their college and their degrees. They're going to get them into the best positions to be in a direct connection, so that if anybody gets caught up or anybody gets busted, that they have something to clean their slate real quick. So why would it shock you that a judge would hug a person that just assassinated a brother in the house for no reason? That is letting the others know it's done. It's just for the same reason I don't trust many people who, after they've been infiltrated or something happened with them and they're telling the truth and they dye their hair blonde. Because blonde means you've been recycled, you've been readjusted, you've been reprogrammed. Whenever somebody goes from being a whistleblower and then all of a sudden they're dyeing their hair blonde, that also lets me know that you've been reprogrammed and I don't trust you. Like that chick, that Umi person who now has a huge platform that was part of Nature Knot. That's a Nature Knot spreadsheet. She's part of Nature Not's spreadsheet. There's another young lady who's part of that too. As soon as she left the cult, she was supposedly stuck with Nature Boy. She only went there for a while. She's a spreadsheet. So she can give the narrative, oh, I'm not part of Nature Boy. Look what he did to me. But all of a sudden, she was only there a day, and now she has a whole big, you know, cult of her own. And she dyed her hair blonde. That's a denotion to the others. I'm just saying we need to be wiser, clever, take color out of a equation. There are different species here. Now, if you give me blood types, then we can go into that all day. If you give me a blood type of people and you give me a general consensus of the general blood types of people, then we can have a conversation, because blood types spread across all complexions. You can have all the same blood type run across my complexion, a darker complexion, a lighter complexion. It runs across the gamut. It spreads across a wide gamut. So make sure that you aren't being sucked into the false narrative that is being projected to you to invoke your victimhood, to invoke a certain sort of reaction, to invoke you to identify with a person who would be assassinated like that. Have you ever seen a courtroom with somebody whose family member got killed like that and you see people hugging them? If that brother was so non-estranged from his brother, he wouldn't be hugging her. He'd be dragging her by her hair. They would have had to take him out with mace, and it would have taken him down. Go check out some other court scenes when somebody assassinates someone's family that they love. Listen to what I said. Listen to the last statement I said, that they love. You do anything. You even touch a hair near my children. You would hope that you'd even have a breath left, because I'll leave the country. That's not a threat, and that's a promise. Okay? You even breathe near my brother. Okay? And I wouldn't even have the decency to even be in the courtroom, because I'd be working things behind the scenes. Real talk. So I'm just saying, when you start seeing things that look odd to you, a brother who really loves his brother, would he hug the murderer, the assassinator of his brother? Even if he forgave her, he wouldn't touch her. Okay? Be more mindful. These people are part of orders, and there are many orders. It's not just one. We only hear about the names that you hear, the Masons, all these things. Those are not even the names. I hate to even blow that spot. They're not even the names. The people, all the dark Kabbalists, all the true families that are doing the diabolical things, you don't even know their names. They have cloaked names, shape-shifted names, public names, PR names that they utilize so that you guys chase the rabbit. You chase the one, the one that they're putting out there, like the patsy. They put out the patsy, the carrot, for you to follow. Oh, the Bilderbergs. Oh, the Rockefellers. Those aren't the people. Do you think if someone has the name Rockefeller, they're keeping the name? They change it. Those aren't even the names. A lot of these families don't even have the names that their original families came from. They alter it to make them seem more appeasing, less identifiable. Okay? So we have to be just more utilizing your discernment to see that if something is on television and you are getting invoked, or you see it as some racial provocateering, I've already told you, and I think that you can research this themselves. These are all my opinion. And like I said, I'm going to say this quickly because I got to go take my baby brother somewhere. All I have to say, family, is utilize your first mind. The veil is totally down. Future FleurBrun has contacted me. It is all good in the hood. And far as this being who's contacted me, everything's looking amazing, but it will be very, very slippery the next couple of months. It will be very slippery. Okay, so just follow your first mind, like Dr. Delbert Blair used to said. And for those coming to the conference, I'm going to see you in less than 30 days. So I'm excited. And for those who want to join for the conference and see it, you can also see it on Patreon. But just be mindful. And like I said, when you start seeing rituals and stuff, just remember it's harvest season. A lot of things are going to be shown to invoke energy, so you can feed energy to rituals. Because remember, if you see something, that's why they do the Super Bowl big shows. That's a whole ritual. The more people who lay their eyes on it and place their energy on something help to project it and help to manifest it. So be mindful looking at things and also believing in it and helping them succeed in whatever they're trying to manifest. Okay? So that whole thing with that young lady, please take the colors out of it. They're of the same order. They're probably having orgies. They probably had an orgy right before they murdered this man and then executed him by his own family. This is my opinion. I don't know for a fact, but I'm just saying that's how they get down. Whenever you see these orders, they don't have the same integrity or the same ethics or morality. They're run by a different mindset. And if you take that in consideration, you mind your business, you can observe it, keep it moving. But I'm just saying, make sure that you are staying in your own world, focusing on the things that you need to work on, and keep as grounded as you need to while we're going through this full-on pole shift. Because that kind of distraction can take your frequency down what took you 3 to 4 years to get to. Okay? There aren't any victims on this planet. If you take yourself and you see yourself as a victim, then by all means you will be one. But if you know that you are sovereign, that you basically have everything that you require in order to have a healthy homeostasis on this planet, and if you also understand that you are co-creating your own existence, that this is a hologram, then you will just keep it moving and you observe, because you should know what they're doing. You should never keep your eye on what they're doing, just to let you know where you should step aside to. Okay? So you want to know where the Unabomber is so you can step aside so you won't be in the same placement as them. But participating in their ritual, that is unnecessary, especially at this conscious state of being. It's the same reason why I tell you don't share my videos, because there aren't many who would be in this mindset to even accept that color does not create a deficit to you in this plane. And as I've told many people before, if you saw who was at the higher tiers of quote unquote wealth, they are all dark brown people. Dark brown people. And I know this for a fact, 1000%. And if you knew that, you would understand that seeing things play out on complexion on the lower levels, that's just for you to, it's a smoke and mirrors. So you never really look for the one who's truly at the top. All right? So I got to go pick up my baby brother. I love y'all. I'm probably going to go on Instagram later. Have a magnificent day. I'll probably go on Instagram later because I'm just, I'm drinking tea today. I'm trying to, stay off the coffee, keep the coffee off my mind. Got my mind on the coffee and the coffee on my mind now. I'll probably come later and we'll chat a little bit more personally. But just, keep it thorough. And to the future, FleurBrun, thank you for sharing intel, and I appreciate all that you do. Just make sure you keep it positive, because I'm gonna have to check you too, FleurBrun. I'm gonna check the future FleurBrun. I'm gonna check the alternate FleurBruns. I'm just saying, keep it appropriate. Anyway, family, I'm out. And also later on Instagram, I'll probably be able to verify if the other things have occurred that were denoted in these future events that were denoted by the future FleurBrun. All right. So I love you. Have an amazing day. Peace.